All right, and welcome to another episode of ARK Survival Ascended here with Darby Topknot on the ARK and ART server. How's it going? And today, we are back on Scorched Earth, and we have one thing we need to get done. And that is to build out this general store, finish it up, so that we can open up the red drops and then be able to travel freely between the different maps. So, let's go ahead and get right to it. So we have been on this map for a little while now, a few episodes, and this will be kind of the culmination of all of that. We got the materials together, we got the dinos together. Hopefully we built enough pieces to build this thing. I do know we need to go get some more materials, metal and crystal specifically, so that we can make some greenhouse things for windows. And today we're going to finish this up. And if you take a look, it's only a husk right now, and I want to build once again in the style of 50% Victorian, 50% Van Helsing. And so, you know, there are some things I'm going to try out, like trying to figure out a way to make things look very run down and broken in certain areas. And you can hear that we do have a thunderstorm coming in. Our little guys are telling us that. But over here, we're going to start with just connecting this up to the second floor that we're going to have on here. And I'll take some time and lay out the different rooms and stuff since we come up here. Then there will be a third story for part of this. And I want to make this peak up here not be the highest point, right? So that's just an entry point. And then we'll have some places over here that are actually higher. And we're going to try some cool stuff for building off of the sides in kind of a Victorian style where it bubbles off the edge of the building and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that that's going to be really cool. But for now, let's go ahead and we will get started with this part right over here. I'm gonna put down these little guys where I think that the walkway should go. Excuse me, sir. Really? I think right there. And where will we go up? Do we want to turn and go up? So this over here is going to be a It's effectively going to operate as our greenhouse, but it's going to be like a sunroom and be enclosed in glass and stuff. So I think it'll look pretty cool. If we look, we're going to come up there, walk across there. There'll be a room over here. Yeah, okay. So this will be a room. Then over here, we'll have another room. And over here, we'll have another room, right? So we'll have all these different places. So we want to close that off, and then we will have probably not best at the end. We probably want to go ahead and do that and that. Then we can put some, whoa, look at all that stuff. We can put some windows and stuff here. And yeah, we are kind of heat stroked, but that's fine. And here we'll have two rooms. So, you know what? We'll break right in here. And this will be a 3 wide. Yeah. We'll make this 3 wide. Make that 3 wide. I'm not going to actually put that up right now. And let's go ahead and pull this one out. So this is how we're going to get into these places for now. So if we go ahead and take a look from overhead, we're going to be coming up here. And you know what? I think we will take a turn. So that's going to be the top. We're going to take a turn to the left and go upstairs there, so we don't have to worry about it on this side. Okay, cool. So I have an idea of what we're going to do. This will be like a bedroom or something. That over there is going to be kind of a sitting room. This over here will be the sunroom, which will be the the greenhouse. And each of these off the sides, they're going to have these little bubbles coming off. Almost like bay windows, but not quite. You'll see when we get there. Okay, so now we have laid a little bit of this out. You guys know as well as I do that I'm going to change my mind someplace along the way. Let's go ahead and put these over. We're going to have these be just normal pieces. What? I'm not sure what that was. Oh, I know what it was. Let's see. I took the... Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that in just a minute. I took the... see, if you do this, the skin comes off of it. It's a little bit of a pain. There we go. That'll put it back. Okay, so now if we just take a look at this. Yeah, we have that there. That's not going to be a big deal. This one I might make a window later on, but we'll see. And these two... Oh, you know what? While we're doing this, I am absolutely going to be grabbing drops, and I apologize for the look. I did have some Enduro Stew to keep me healed up while we do this, but it doesn't help with the heat stroke, so I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and put some windows here, because I think that'll look cool. And we may change all of this as we go along, like I said. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back onto the island to go see my dudes, and also we have some Basilosaurus that we need to... Look at that. See that how those are disappearing? That's a weird bug. Fix the game, ARK. So let's go ahead and do this. But we have some Basilosaurus that I want to raise up and see if we can get some super guys on our team there. So we will do that, and then, is that piece there? Yep. Over here, we will make these windows, and that, I think, will make a nice little sitting room. Okay, so I always do this. You know how we've talked in the past about how the estimation for how much stuff we're going to need to build is always off by like a factor of 3. Well, this is why. I looked at the side of this, and one thing I hate are just flat plains where there's nothing going on, and that's what we were getting into here. And even though we're going to have this bubble off the side of this, I didn't like the way that it went with just that, because we had this big piece here that was just open. So we're going to create an overhang right here. And what I did is I took it off of this part here, and it's going to come out. And what that'll do is that will make this more of a place to pass through. So rather than just a sitting room, I mean, maybe the sitting room is over here or something, or maybe we'll make this... No, we've got a balcony right there. So, you know what? This might be a good greenhouse. We'll figure that out, what it's for. But this will give us a more interesting shape off the side of this, because these buildings are supposed to be like the pinnacle of artistry, right? I mean, the buildings back then were really amazing. And then if you throw in the fantasy setting of you know, vampire hunters and all that stuff, it gets even better. But what we're going to have on the sides of all of these are these little pieces here where you go out and people will be able to sit. So I'll figure out a way to make that look cool. But this is going to then be a window, and it will get us shapes that jut off. So we'll put some pillars to hold it up, and that will mean that we'll have to make some adjustments down below on the way we have the windows. And it might be eliminating one of those columns of windows there. But that down there, that is the shop itself. And up here, this is more of a living quarters or things like that. And it could be that the general store was transitioned into that after whatever bad happened from somebody's house. And so we're going to have much of the same type of stuff off the other sides. And so what I will do is I will begin putting up the walls and stuff and bring you guys back when I have a little bit more of that done. So I've done some work, and you know, I'm really regretting that we don't have Benjamin here to help. He is our otter architect and makes things so much easier. I decided to go with this, and you'll see we have some posts out here for support like we always preach. And looking around from this side, it looks like the only thing I'm gonna have to do is figure out how to make those ceilings up there meet. But I think this is a lot better than just having a kind of boring piece coming straight down right there, because that's where it ended before. And this, I think, gives us something nice to have on the edge. And then when we go ahead and we put a similar type of thing over here with the pieces for the greenhouse, then I think that'll be really, really good. And we actually have right here, I'm going to try something. And that might end up with a new technique that we can all use. Or it might end up just being not working. And so maybe I'll cut it out. But we'll see how it goes. And I'm liking the direction this is going. And yeah, I'm thinking under here we can put like maybe some posts to hitch horses or other dinos to and stuff like that. Maybe some storage or something. We'll do something cool under there, I think. But I like that a lot better, and it does make it look like kind of an old house. And when we get this all painted and everything, I think it'll look pretty cool. Okay, so we've done a lot more work. And so take a look. I figured out the best way, in my opinion, to connect these roofs. And I think it gives a really cool shape to the thing. And then this top one, it's really too bad there isn't at least not that I know of, a shingled thing like this. I mean, I guess the idea is that you build it up into a point. Maybe we'll do that, but I think for now what we're going to do is we're going to have this be a little balcony that comes out from this piece that's going to be up here. And I think that will look really cool. I like the way the supports and everything look. And I think that we're on to something here from the standpoint of design. And I did take some of the rails out from in there so that they didn't go into the walls. Didn't think we needed them. And I think that attaches really, really well. So, cool. Next part, we're going to go around and start building out all the little balconies on this floor, and then we'll build our way up to the next floor. Okay, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to stop attacking stuff. We've been getting so many raptors over here, but that obviously is not what we're here to talk about. I want to talk a little bit more about this. So we're working on the third story, and you can see here how it's coming out when I said that this wasn't going to be the top piece of it, right? And we're going to have some stuff up here. So, and yes, we are getting drops constantly, to the point that I had to stop going to get them because I was always running out and getting stuff. And so I have built this up over here. And you'll see that we have these types of little bubbly, almost bay windowy things on the sides here. And they are built on a similar type of design, but you can see that they're a little bit different. This one is kind of odd shaped. That one is a little bit taller than this one here. And this one is offset a bit. And so what we're going to do is we'll figure out if we want these to be these full walls or the quarter walls as we move along. I suspect that we're going to have to put some type of, maybe the beams, use those to show little splits between the stories. I think that that's probably a good idea. That'll add some flavor to the outside, and also it will give us a natural breakpoint for the different types of walls that we're using. And I do have to put these together. I just put these adobe walls up right here. That guy's not going to stay here. I plan to put that probably on the top of this thing, and there's another red drop with a ring. This side, I'm thinking that I will do a slant from where you see this floor down to there and then continue on. And if I do that, then I don't have to worry about what we're looking out here. And I can probably do something pretty simple. I don't know whether I'll do a it coming off of this side and have it go up on a lined point. Once again, Butterman would be able to tell you exactly what those walls are, whether they're gabled or whatever it's called. Or if I'm going to do it so that this has its own slant out that way and this part doesn't slant. I'm not sure which I'm going to do with this, but I'm thinking that we'll come off of there and this is where that will stop. So that will give a slant off of there, and then we'll have a wall go straight up, and that wall will be this same height. Down here, we're going to have the room that is totally out of the greenhouse glass, and that way we will be able to have our little, and I might grow it a bit. We'll have to see. But that way we'll be able to have our greenhouse up here and have it looking like it makes sense. We have a bit more work to do, and there's another raptor. I'm going to have to carry my crossbow so I can put it into those guys. They seem to be really tough, though. They take quite a few hits to kill. Anyway. Do you want to be our new architect, buddy? What do you think? No? You're a fighter? Okay. Just needed to check. We are back from getting apparently not anywhere near enough crystal. We're going to have to go back out again. But first, I wanted to take a look at where we are right now. Wow, that is really tall. Doesn't that look like there's a sky mountain up there or something? Sweet. Let's go ahead and start putting down some of this stuff in what will be the greenhouse, but it's really going to be set up as a sunroom. And as you can see, this is a very large wall that is very blank. And so basically how this goes is gonna inform whether we have to make a change up there or not. So we were able to make some stuff, but I don't think it's anywhere near enough. Now, is this the way that we like it? Do we like that side or this side? I kind of want to go back to the island and look at what we did there. You know what? This side kind of looks better for the outside, doesn't it? This looks like the outside, and this looks better for inside, I think. Okay, let's do it that way. And it'll be nice to put those 33 levels to good use. Once we get this done, then of course we will be able to pick up the red drops, which means we're done with our little silly quest and can go freely between the different... let's see. How about that? Yeah. The different maps and everything. And we just need to make sure this happens the right way. And come on, man. Oh, that was it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. Hop into K mode, and so with this, these are greenhouse. We can, however, make them look like that glass over there, and we may do that. I'll take a look at what it does to the roofs and stuff, but I'm thinking this needs to go up at least one more. So if we go up one more, we'll be even with that, and then we can... Yeah, how do we want to have it join? I kind of want it to come up out of this part here diagonally up, right? So if you see that line off the wall to the right, I want it to come diagonally off of there, which will... It'll mean something about this sign. We'll figure that out when we... Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, I see what it's going to mean. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of these on here. You know what? This isn't as big as I thought it was. Maybe we won't need all that much. So that took way less than I thought it would. And we did do the walls in that same skin. I don't think it does anything to the efficiency of the greenhouse effect and all of that. And all we had to do was make this one piece for up here. And that was good enough. So I think by painting those, I'll probably paint those brown or black. This is probably going to be painted in fairly dark colors. I think we'll get a really good look out of this. As you can see, we have begun the painting process. And I'm just taking a look at what these colors look like at night, because we want them to look okay during the day, but be kind of spooky at night. And as you can see, because we don't have a flyer or anything, I've had to put up scaffolding around the entire place here. Oh, hello there. Wonder what killed that. So we're going around, and we want the paint job to look, like I said, look okay during the day, but look run down. And I think that in the back, we're going to have it more run down than we do in the front. So kind of like they're trying to put a front on to create an impression. But it should look like it used to be painted really nicely and been a nice place, but has, you know, obviously suffered over time. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm not going to bore you guys with painting in the dark and all of that, but we will bring you guys back as soon as we're done with this, and then we'll have a walkthrough. Sweet. Look at it out there, just sitting there mocking us. The red drop right on our front porch. You know, it's too bad that we're not done with this build. Then we could actually level up and go get that. Actually, we are done. So, should we run down there? No, I need to prove it to you guys first. So, with the help of my trusty Thylacoleo, who needs a name, by the way, we were able to finish what is probably our best build to date. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. It's, you know, probably the one before this was the aviary. I think the greenhouse back on the island was good too. This one, it really fits the motif that we're going for. So once again, Victorian combined with Helsing, right? So kind of a it was Victorian, and then the whole civilization got destroyed, and now it's this dark, lonely place. So that's the whole idea here. Let's go ahead. I really want that. You guys trust me enough to let me go get that? All I have to do is pump one level. Whatever happened to trust, man? Yeah, you're right. I probably can't be trusted. Okay, let's go take a look. The idea of this is that this was like a big mansion. So a large home that was, you know, probably a wealthy family of some type and all of that before the zombie apocalypse. And so now it has doubled as the general store. And this is what we're going to use for the general store in this map. And seriously? Are you kidding me? Look, right over there. See? This is what it does, right? Okay, let's go ahead and do this tour, and then we're going to run over and try to get that. Actually, the tour is going to take too long. Okay, anyway, we're going to do this. So if you take a look, what I noticed is that a lot of the shapes were not rectangular, and that these types of houses had little bubbles growing off of them in all different places. So we put a hitching post out front, and we have some troughs there. The reason we did that was to create a little bit of space in the front, right? So that you have something going up, so it's not just a flat wall. You know how much we dislike those. The entrance is here, and that I brought out as like a balcony combined with a little entranceway. So you notice that we have some layers here. We have this outer layer, we have this inner layer that's created there. We have two different tiers on this first entrance point, and then we have layers out here. We do have, you'll see garbage and everything hanging around, like these boxes that probably used to be something, but now they're not. They're just worn down. So look for stuff like that. This part is an overhang, and this was probably where they used to have something interesting, but now it's just where like more boxes have collected. You can notice that we didn't paint everything. We just painted some things, and the skins they have with this frontier pack were really good for building this Victorian style stuff. That's a terracotta color in the middle there, and then brown on the outsides to try to make it look like it used to be a bright, shiny place. And you can see that with the kind of cream colored walls and everything, but everything has really degraded over the years. And we also used this deeper blue color for the tiles, the shingles on the roofs, and those also are kind of ruined, right? So that's once again the frontier pack, but then we painted everything. And so you can see here there was like a sunroom, and we'll show you when we go inside what that's all about now. But initially when I laid this out, this was a rectangle, and so I drew these bubbles with the triangle foundations or triangle ceilings on the outside, and then I tried to make it so that it made the overall look something that's a little more interesting than just, you know, kind of the L-shaped buildings that we see a lot of the time and that I have myself built. And we have a couple different ways of adding support. So we do have these foundations down here for the lower ones, and we put the rails across just to make that a little more interesting. This back part, the idea is that it was actually added on later, and I'll show you why. We actually needed it there. And yeah, if you look this way, I'm not sure how many water tanks you can see, but they go all the way. Boy, I really want that. Is that a ring at the bottom? We have these supported with these pillars. Then up here, we have those inverted stairs, which actually I think that's an inverted roof that's there. And so we painted it all with that terracotta color, and then I believe this is cream, this color. And because it's on the, look at that. I guess I need to paint that. We're going to find stuff that I have neglected to paint all over this place. I'll be painting this for the next 100 years. One thing I noticed about the type of houses that they had and built back then is that it seemed like every room had a little enclosed balcony or an external balcony coming off of it. So I made these bay windows, I guess you would call them, just about everywhere. So just about every room has something jutting off the side, and it's like this private little place. But watch when we go inside and actually watch at night and see how spooky this thing actually looks. The lighting and the starkness, it really, really lends to the presence here. So I wanted some obvious signs of repair. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks. And seriously, dude, you're in my line. So that foundation there, we weren't able to lay. It had to go lower. And so I decided to make it look like they had actually done some foundation repairs, right? So that's actually just being held up, and you can see part of it's painted, part of it's not. This whole thing is designed to look like it's just being held together. And so that's why over here they didn't have a lot of the types of materials that they normally would, so they had to build stuff out of different things. Let's go ahead and we're going to come in here. I used some of the lighting out front and wanted this open. Most general stores are pretty bright in this type of building, but this one, you'll notice the light is okay right now. It's a little bit dim, but this is where they have put together a general store in what was probably some type of reception room back in the day. And you can see that the shelves have been kind of haphazardly put together, and we do have over here a way to get up, right? So if I need to get to higher shelves, I can go ahead and hop up here to get stuff out and everything. So I just tried to make it look like it was actually usable. We have a really good view here. A lot of this we'll be looking at in photo mode just because it lets us kind of scan the place. And you can see we have some chandeliers up top. They create the dimmest, most horrible light you've ever seen. Then we have just a single lamp down here to help out with that. There's our moss chops. So like these boxes up here, you can see they look kind of decrepit. And once again, the idea was that this is what the survivors had to do, right? And so this is what's been put in place. And we made this little cabinet here, this shelf, just out of those quarter walls and had a quarter ceiling on top. And so I think that that works really, really well. The back of it is open. And once again, the lighting is, I think, one of the things that makes this work so well. You can see that this goes straight into our workshop. We have some of our raptors here. We have a couple jerboa. This is something that we haven't put effort into. It's literally just putting things where they fit. And you can see our little bed over there. But I think that kind of works because this here is a facade, right? The rest of the place is dreary and lonely. So let's hop up here and we'll just start walking up slowly. You can see we have more lights on there. There's that slanted roof on that side. And we have a place just kind of, there we go. It's just kind of taking us through this little hallway out into a wider place. And so you can see we used some of the new furniture and everything to create here. One of the things we did is we did paint it. And if you're doing this, I found that painting the back a different color than the front pieces really looks good because it gives you these contrasts and it can make it pop a bit more. Even in a place like this that's supposed to be dreary, you still want a touch of color. This is actually Darby's bedroom. And once again, you can see here's his stuff. It's a couple boxes. That's where I'm going to put his armor and stuff. He has this little window here, like I talked about, and it's what was probably once a great view, but now maybe not so much. We made a little bed here for him, so it's not just, you know, a bunk bed or something like that. And this is something I was just trying out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I think that something like that may work. Probably have to do a little bit more work on figuring out what to do in the back as like a headboard. But this is something that separated the bed from the rest of the room. So instead of having a giant room, if you create partitions in it, then it will lend itself to the usefulness of the different areas. And you can see the slanted ceiling makes it look a little bit more interesting here. This bulging out from the side of the building also makes it look more compartmentalized. And you'll see that up there, it goes up higher. And so that's one of those spired rooftops that we saw from the outside. This is a room that was probably the longest to get the materials for and the shortest to build. It was in the lore, it would have been like a sunroom of some type, and they've converted it over to a greenhouse. And we're going to plant our plants in here, and these are all fully irrigated because we have that water coming over. This, I think, is where we're going to do a lot of hanging out, and it would have been, you know, some type of maybe family room, bedroom, something of that sort in the past, but if we take a look, now you can see that it's been set up as kind of a community hall, right? So above the general store, this is where people from the little community, because we're going to build a big town here. We're going to build lots and lots of stuff here. I think it's going to look amazing afterwards, especially if you guys give us ideas. You guys always have the best ones. But we have a poker table here where I look forward to playing with our friends. Just some of those round saloon tables. Piano, which is awesome. We have the little Scorched Earth map up there just to break up, once again, to break up the monotony of the room. And we did some painting in here that's a little bit different. So we used this gray and along with the terracotta red to darken it up a bit. So it kind of takes the edge off of the look of the place. So if we come out here, you can see that we're actually on that terrace that overlooks the entranceway. So there's our little thyla there. I had it all covered initially, but it just looked really kind of lame. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's open it up in the center. And so what I did was I came in one and then opened it up. And it, you know, I think that's a pretty cool design there. So we called it all out. And when you look from down there up to here, when you look from up here, you feel like you're really in a space. And that's what we're after. The idea is that maybe this was a couple rooms, a few rooms, an entire floor of the building, who knows, but now they've opened it up and whoever runs the general store actually lives here, and this is their place. You can see that it's very, very large, and that it's juxtaposed by the fact that there's a single bed in here, and there's a single little table, right? So to me, that makes this like the loneliest place in the entire build. If you look around, there are a lot of bookshelves over here and over there, so they obviously like reading. Maybe they write or something of that sort. This is a fallen civilization, and so the possibilities for what happens in their mind are kind of endless. And I used, once again, some of these fancy couches and stuff like that over here, and made another one of those tables. So this is someplace people can go and talk, but in my mind, they don't. Nobody comes up here. Just that one person who runs the place. Out here, we have a balcony that you can go on to, and this actually sits on top of the other room that was down below us in that little parlor. And so this is a rectangle. It's one of the few rectangles in the entire build, but I juxtaposed that with a roof that keeps more in line with the rest of the build. If you walk out this way, you go out onto the balcony where you can see all the drops, and you can go out here and take a look out the front. So I like these wraparound balconies. I think they look really cool in real life, and I think that this works here. You notice a wall of windows here, and then windows up there. Once again, that's keeping in touch with using a lot of different layers and a lot of different levels. So instead of having everything on the same level, so it just looks like you stacked Legos on top of each other, breaking things up in this way can do a lot of good for that. Now we have the last little piece of this room, which is up here. And I've always wanted to build something like this that used these half ceilings so that you could have something coming out. I've tried to use it for storage and all of that in the past, and it's not worked out that great. I end up taking it down, but I thought that this looked pretty cool with this rail across there. You can see that it's held up in certain parts by posts, so it's not just hanging out there. Obviously, that part over there is connected directly to the wall. Same thing here. I needed to cap this off coming up and show some separation, so I took that all the way up to the ceiling. We have these two chairs up here where they can come up and watch things go around. And somebody had their breakfast right here looking out at the Rex triangle that's out there. But I thought this was really cool. Once again, we have all sorts of openings up here that make the place feel bigger than it is. And I didn't light that top place on purpose because, especially at night, it makes this look really spooky. All right, so that is that. I call this done, and amazing. It was a lot of fun to do. It was a lot of work, just trying to figure out the painting and stuff like that. Every time I thought I was close to being done, I wasn't. We will continue building, of course, here. And we're going to have buildings every place that you can possibly see here. So now we have opened up the red drops, which is the last one. So we're going to pump all of our levels back into Darby. And then actually the next thing we're going to do is make our way back over to the island because I'm worried about my bees. I need to check on them, make sure they still have enough of the rare flowers so that they don't all die. In the meantime, thank you, everybody, so very much for coming along on this ride with us. We appreciate you, and please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, all those YouTubey things. We look forward to building this out. We look forward to continuing our building on the island and to meeting some of the new members who have hopped up over there in the recent weeks. So this is Darby Topknot here with all my buddies saying bye for now.